live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am Jarrett, the football genius Burgess.
And I am Stephanie Fitzpatrick, aka the Advantage Coach.
And we got a guest.
Yes, I am. Y'all don't know how excited I am. You're probably gonna cheese the whole show, okay? Because this young man that we have with us today is very special to me. I tell his mom all the time, thank you for sharing him. He's like a son to me. I love him like a son. So y'all know that means a lot. We have Mr. Tuwile Wilson with us today.
How y'all doing?
Yes.
Man, I've heard so much about you, man. This is the first time I've formally gotten to meet you. So, man, I'm just super hyped that you can come on the show with us, and we can learn a little bit about you today, man.
Yeah, and other people can learn a little bit about you today.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is brag time, buddy. That's all I'm going to say. So, little background. So, let's see. I've known Tuwile since literally he broke his leg in the 6th grade. Yeah, playing football.
Mm-hmm.
And he could not, because of the school he went to, he could not get around at school. And so he had to come to the non-traditional school. Me and his mother were both teachers there at the time. And so I was already teaching his sister, Lord have mercy. And so Wile came in and we rocked that 6th grade math till he could get back on his feet and go back to school. And so I think we already knew each other, but I think a bond formed at that point that has never been shaken since that moment. And he know all you got to do is, and I'm there for him. So like, I couldn't be more proud for this moment just because I know what he's been through, how he got here, and what he's doing. And so yes, let's go.
You take the kind words.
No, you know I love you, sir. Okay. So we're gonna just ask you some questions, Wile, and you just chime in, all right? Now, Wile's with us the whole show, y'all, so he gonna have to give his opinions on some of this other stuff we're talking about today, too. So y'all just hold on, but we're gonna start with this. So did you ever think that the NFL was an option for you?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, definitely. I had somebody who was real close to me, who Storm Johnson, who was like a big brother to me growing up.
Right.
And he made it to the NFL. He played in the NFL for about 4 seasons, I believe. So me coming up under him and seeing somebody I looked up to make it to the NFL, and I'm already playing football and having early success, that was a formula for, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to NFL next. So it was written for me. Yeah, it was definitely a thing. It was a thought. It was definitely something that I really wanted to do. And it was something I was really scared to tell people. I didn't really tell people that because it's like, if you don't do it, then it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to explain that and it don't look good. But yeah, it was something I wanted to do, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Jarrett could tell you his story. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Same story.
How was it when you knew that wasn't going to be your path? Like, how was it, accepting that? Like, what did you go through?
It was tough. I probably knew the NFL was not going to be something that I was going to do probably like after my sophomore year in college. I'm gonna say after my junior year in college, because I felt like my body, it just wasn't going to be able to do it. Like, I done been through a lot physically playing football that people don't even know to have. So it's like, I knew trying to pursue the next level with possibly even more damage to my body, and it would just be a lot. I didn't want to put honestly, as far as NFL, I kind of made the decision before it even was made. I kind of had already came to balance with myself, like, man, the sport of football didn't put you through a lot, you know what I'm saying? So if you trying to go to the league, you got to be prepared to go through even more physically. Like, I didn't have concussions. I didn't broke the biggest bone in my body. I broke my leg in 6th grade. She was referring to. I didn't tore a shoulder. I didn't broke a foot. I didn't did a bunch of stuff, you know. So yeah, football definitely don't owe me nothing for sure. For sure.
Okay. Well, how has it been since you graduated? So we didn't talk about this. You graduated this year from Alabama A&M. Whoop, whoop. Yes. 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 So how's it been since you graduated? How's real life treating you, sir?
I mean, it's cool. Like, ever since I graduated, we've been in a worldwide pandemic. So, you know, it's been different from a lot of stuff that I've heard. Like, I graduated May. It was late May. It was July. I don't know. I sometime during the summer is when I graduated. It pushed our graduation back like 4 or 5 times, but I did have a graduation. It was cool. And since then, how's it been? It's been different. I ain't gonna lie, it's been real different because like school had me to where like everything was taken care of, like everything was paid for, everything. Like I didn't have no real responsibilities as far as like being an adult besides being places on time. You know, I didn't have any bills or like any type of like long-term commitment to any real world things. So I would say that's been the biggest adjustment, trying to get used to that and try to learn how to be an adult because like I never realized how sheltered football had me, how much I didn't have to do that other people, you know, had to do. Like, so that's probably been the biggest adjustment, you know, trying to get used to that, trying to be an adult, like, because a lot of times, like, you might have some people who didn't play sports, they might have had like a job or something in their off time, in their spare time. I was probably training or in the weight room in my spare time. So it's learning how to do stuff like that, you know, that's been an adjustment too.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
It does. It's funny, you know, and listening to you say that, I remember being at that moment thinking to myself, like, wow, I was really coddled in college. Like, you get out of school and it's like, wait, I got to pay this bill every month?
What?
Like, I don't have somebody I can go to and hand this paper to and they going to pay it for me?
That's the crazy part. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. And they tell you this while you're in college, like, enjoy this time, you know, everything's free, it's fun, it's this, it's that, enjoy it, you know, because before you know it, you'll be in the real world and you definitely hear it, and you have your teammates who are older that, you know, tell you how they're doing and how the transition is, and you hear and take in all that stuff. But as y'all know, like, it's one thing to hear something, and it's another thing to go through it yourself and see it.
That's right. That's true. That's right.
I can't say that I wasn't told, but it's
had to see it for yourself.
It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Man, so I know I went to a HBCU too, you know what I'm saying? And I know one of the things that you hear about the difference between guys who go to PWIs and guys who go to HBCUs is that, you know, some guys go to school at PWIs strictly for football, right? At HBCUs, you know, you have some guys who come to school who, you know, you coming straight for football, but they put, you know, an emphasis on education at a HBCU. What type of value did you see in getting a degree from an HBCU?
I saw a lot of value, actually. I knew because like I said, I'm cool with a lot of like older people, and some of them have went to HBCUs and some have went to PWI. So it's like I asked them both, like, so what is it like to go to a PWI? What is it like to go to a HBCU? And the HBCU is like, it's more of like a family orientated type of thing. Like, you might go to a HBCU and be like an engineer major. You know what I'm saying? And like, you might have people that came before you and they're also engineer majors and they want to look out for you. You know what I'm saying? They care. It's just more personable. Or you might have like a teacher at that school that you're really close to. Like me, I had got close with a teacher my sophomore year in college, and we talk almost every day now, you know, and she always tells me anything I need, call her. You know what I'm saying? She taught me a lot. She's the one who taught me about stocks and getting into that stuff. Like, she taught me a lot of stuff. And it's just stuff like that, I feel like, that I got from an HBCU that I would not have got from a PWI. So to me, that adds more value to the degree that I got at the HBCU. I ain't never heard nobody that go to a PWI tell me a story like that. Because it's probably like 80 or 90 kids in a class. The teacher probably don't even know their name. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of my teachers knew me personally. They knew my name. They knew who I was. Like, you know, so it's way more personable, you know.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I hate I didn't do it. I can admit that though.
Wow, yeah.
No, I do. I hate I didn't do it.
You know, so I think, you know, I've had experiences at all different types of schools, right?
Yes, Mr. PhD.
Most recently, you know,
Which school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind. I went to Howard. I graduated from Howard in 2008.
Okay.
After leaving Howard, I think maybe I took a year or maybe 2 years off, and then I went back and got my master's at New Mexico Highlands University. And maybe 2 years after that, I moved down here to Georgia to get my PhD from Georgia State University.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
And so I'm just in a holding pattern right now with Georgia State. So yeah, but one of the things I was going to say is that having experienced, you know, life on both sides, even though I would say Georgia State, the very first time I came down here to visit and look at Georgia State, I was like, I mean, this kind of looked like a black college. But in fairness, like it's the, if not one of, the most diverse campuses in the country.
I was just gonna get to that, and I don't want the listeners at home to quote me because I'm not sure, but if I'm not mistaken, Georgia State is not considered a PWI.
Okay.
I believe there's something. There's another name to describe them. They're not considered a PWI.
Okay.
Now, y'all bash me, the listeners. I think, don't quote me because I ain't did my homework, but I'm pretty sure that they're not a PWI, and they'll be the first to tell you we ain't no PWI at Georgia State. So
yeah,
one of the things
not even when I graduated from Georgia State was it a PWI. So no.
One of the things that the school hangs its hat on is its diversity, and
right.
I can tell you it's on full display.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my point won't stand, I guess, if Georgia State isn't considered a PWI.
Oh no, they get serious about that. They correct me every time. We are not a PWI. I'm sorry.
I appreciated I appreciated that family type vibe and atmosphere that I received when I first moved down here. As a matter of fact, the folks who I was in a cohort with, we still text each other to this day on birthdays and major events. One of my guys, shout out to Andy. Andy got married less than a year ago, and so we all flooded him and, you know, made sure he felt love. My birthday just passed about 2 weeks ago, and everybody sent me, you know what I'm saying, some love for my birthday. So
it just made me feel bad, Jarrett.
Why? No, stop. No,
you ain't telling happy birthday?
Not on his birthday.
You know, it's funny too because we talked that entire day, and I'm like I'm not the type that be like, hey, did you remember it was my birthday?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so we talked that entire. We had a whole conversation the entire day.
Oh,
but it's understandable because, and I told the story a couple of podcasts ago. My dad called me the day before, right? I talked to my dad November 30th. December 1st, he did not call me. He called me December 4th and was like, oh man, I was the first person to talk to you. I talked to you the day before.
Oh, he tried it. I love
like, man, that don't count.
He tried it. I love your daddy.
That don't count.
No.
That does not count, sir.
The craziest part about that is his birthday is December 9th.
But he couldn't remember yours being on the 1st. At least I got a little bit of an excuse. Like, we're not gonna break that. That's my buddy. No, Dad, we got you, Dad. It's fine. You good.
I'm not the best when it comes to the birthdays and remembering, but if I try to do okay for the people that's really, really close. I'm not the best though. I'm definitely guilty of that. But
it's all good.
Nah, that's all good.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple more questions for you, Wile.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what advice would you give to a fresh college?
Say that again. You were breaking up.
What advice would you give to a freshman student athlete entering college?
I could go on all day about this question, but I keep it short and try to pinpoint a couple of the important ones. Number one, time management is above all. Like, that's important. You won't get far if you don't manage your time, and if you don't prioritize your time. Like, you got to put time into certain things. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to do this, but you got to make sure you do your work, go to class. You got to make sure you, if you're an athlete, you know what I'm saying, put that extra work in outside of practice. All of that is a part of time management, creating time to do those important things. Because people like to say that student athletes don't have no like spare time or no downtime. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's not true. We don't have a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. We don't have a lot, but we will have an hour or two, you know what I'm saying, of just spare downtime. And what you do with that hour or two, you'll be surprised how far that could take you. Going to get an extra lift, going to the library to get some extra studying in, you know, stuff like that. So time management, build relationships. I didn't do a lot of that early on because that's not something that you like really think about. And when I say build relationships, I'm not talking about just like talking to a bunch of girls or your teammates, because y'all gonna be cool anyway. But I'm talking about like getting to know your advisors, you can get involved into some type of like organizations, you know, stuff like that. That stuff gonna take you a long way too. Like, I just had a teammate, he just got called for a job because he's in this Greek organization, and the guy saw him, he know him, and now he's on. You know what I'm saying? So relationships, time management, and I'm gonna give y'all one more. I would say this is tough. It's so much stuff I can name.
Right.
I would say cherish it because it fly by. Like, your freshman year is a blur. Like, freshman year is a blur. Like, you so go, fun. Everything is new. Cherish that time. So I guess that go back to time management. Make good of your time, and yeah, because it flies by.
Okay. Different advice for a senior getting ready to graduate?
A senior getting ready to graduate, have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Have a plan.
Great advice.
Think about what you're gonna do after you walk across that stage. Like, what's gonna be your next move, and don't think about that as you're walking across the stage. Think about that, you know, next year. You definitely have a plan because you don't want to waste no time. You know, like, who would have thought that the year we graduated would be in a global pandemic? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta prepare for the worst, plan for the best.
That's great. Love it.
That's great advice. I was thinking about how my junior year, and I tell this story all the time, and I'm never hesitate to give this man his just due for his impact on my life. But my junior year, it was like, I'm going to the NFL and that's it. And after that, I'll figure it out. But my coach, shout out to Coach McKelvin, Coach Matt, he gave me some words that I will never forget. And he said that at some point you got to show the world that you can do something else. Now, whether you have a long career in the NFL or you don't make it past this next practice, you got to show the world that you can do something else. And that's when it popped for me, like, okay, no, I really need to sit down and plan like what I'm going to do next. And that right there, those words right there were the things that helped me to start planning for, what was next, what was after graduation. Right. Because, the NFL, a long, lengthy NFL career just isn't in the stars for everyone, which is the reason why we created the Field to the Real project, because we've seen a lot of young men find it difficult to make that transition. And you talked a little bit about your transition and how, you knew kind of early on, like, okay, maybe the NFL just isn't in the stars for me. And that, that mindset makes you think, okay, then what do I have to do next? So being a player at a HBCU, do you see like the value in the Field to the Real project? Like, do you see it being valuable to like HBCUs? Because I know you said that, you knew early on, but I know some of your teammates probably thought to themselves, I'm going to play in the NFL. And then when it didn't happen, there was a bit of devastation there.
Right. I see a lot of value in this podcast. And it definitely, like you just said, just hearing this and seeing these podcasts will open up your mind to thinking like, okay, I do need to have a plan, or I do need to be prepared for what's to come next after playing sports my entire life and going into the real world. Because a lot of people don't understand that transition is crazy. Like, just play sports your whole life, and then the next day you're not. And now it's time for everything to get real. That's a shock to the body. So, and you don't really spend a lot of time thinking about what you're going to do if sports don't work out, because you're always spending your time on sports. So you don't never think about like what I'm going to do if it don't work out, because 9 out of 10, you're not even going to be thinking about it not working out. You know what I'm saying? So, right. But yeah, so this type of thing, anybody that comes across a podcast like this, it'll open up their mind, especially because y'all do stuff like bring real people who've been through it, and they're telling you like, yeah, it gets real and it gets real quick. Like, so yeah, I think this podcast is very beneficial, and I hope it reaches a lot of student athletes, not just at HBCUs, but all over the world, because I know a lot of people who have struggled with making the transition from being a student athlete to like, now you're just, trying to find your way out in the real world. That's a tough transition for sure. And
I will say, like, Tuwile was more than happy when I told him about the project we're doing and being able to go to the HBCUs and actually, talk to the students and provide them with like this real world transit, helping them to know what's next and getting their mindset there from the beginning. So no matter when it's over, you're ready. You're not getting ready. You're already ready. And so as soon as I talked to Wile about this, he was like, well, why didn't you say something while I was still there? Because I would have been like, I would have been the biggest cheerleader to try to make sure that this happened at Alabama A&M. And he even put us in touch with somebody there. Like, administrators. So I appreciate that you saw value immediately in what we were doing, but you've known me long enough to know the way that I operate with this kind of thing. Like, this is my passion. Anything, anything you need from me as far as it goes, I'm there. And so, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. It's definitely gonna reach a lot of people. Trust me.
Okay, from your words to God's, from your lips to God's ears. Yes.
Amen.
Absolutely. All right.
And I'm gonna stop it right here.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.